All right, here we are with Exalted Demake, Never Talk to Strangers, Season 1, Episode 1. I am Devin, the referee, and today we have...
I'm Gerald, playing Salah al-Rashid, Solar Cast Dawn.
I'm Arbane, playing Captain Craig, Zenith Cast Solar.
I'm Stephanie, playing Zero, a Daycast Abyssal.
I'm Falco, playing Noah, a Twilight Solar.
Excellent, gang. We're missing a few people because coordinating games is a nightmare, so people will come in and out as the game progresses. You'll hear about it here at the intro part. So, gang, you already have established how you know each other. We recorded that in the intro. That's definitely coming before this episode. That'll establish things for the listeners. Let's set the scene. You are all aboard... names. You're all aboard Captain Craig's ship. What is your ship's name?
Crimean River.
Perfect. It is a boat. I don't know much about boats, but it's a boat you can own in the modern day. It's a boat. It's expensive. Their boats are expensive. Don't get a boat. You have all gone from the mainland of the city of Helios to a small little island off the coast. Like, it's not super far away. It's just a pain in the ass to get there without a boat. It is called... Devin, open your notes. Oh, why, Devin? Finnegan's Peninsula.
Peninsula?
I don't know. What do you want from me? Don't ask me about geography. How dare you? Finnegan's Peninsula. And on it is the goth nightclub, definitely run by vampires according to your contacts, called Castle Ravenloft. You have been contacted by someone through an intermediary because a bunch of people have been kidnapped by vampires, probably to be eaten by vampires, in Castle Ravenloft. You have to venture into Castle Ravenloft and save them. Your boat has pulled up anywhere you want on this little island called Finnegan's Peninsula. Stop asking questions about it being a peninsula. So wherever you want to pull up, you can. And from there, plan out how you're going to infiltrate Castle Ravenloft and save the innocent people from being eaten by vampires. And this club is run by the elusive Count.
Of course it is.
Go.
Well, I'm much into the front door approach. How about you guys?
Depends on how many.
Yeah, works for me.
Well, that depends on whether or not where the actual people are. Because if we go in the front door, it's possible that they could all just be killed right away.
That is true.
Listen, why don't I go in the back? I can talk my way through a few doormen, and I can scope the place out for you guys.
Well, you tell us where they're at, and we'll go fetch.
Out of character, is this... This is in the 80s, right? So
No, this is the year 2020.
Oh, so I could just call them say, hey guys, yeah, the humans are in the back.
Yeah, he just keeps confusing us by trying to do the 80s game. It's like, yeah, later.
Right.
We can have earpieces.
Yeah, you can have smartphones, whatever you want. TikTok, it's all available.
Let's not live stream this, okay?
I'm sure we can get a couple of followers from this.
People are like, this is a really weird YouTube horror story. Very Marble Hornets, very meandering. All right, so you're all going to hold fast while Zero does a bit of scouting?
Yes.
Perfect. So the little rocky island you're on has a bunch of docks around it for boats and like a ferry, like an actual city ferry to go back and forth. Castle Ravenloft is a giant concrete castle made to look like a Gothic castle, covered in neon light tubes like the rest of the city, and with big giant neon spotlights and glow-in-the-dark spotlights just blasting light everywhere with music pounding out of the building itself. There is a lineup trying to get into the door. There's a bouncer not letting people in until they let people in. There's maybe outside 30 people in line. It has everything a castle would have, like arch-shaped windows and a front door and crenellations everywhere.
Let me.
Anybody think they can get in through the roof?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what charm, if they have any charms that would help with this.
Actually, I do, now that I think about it, I believe. Yeah, I've got Graceful Crane Stance. I can run up walls for one mote.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so
can.
can Steph.
Yeah, I can too.
Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah, you have-
yep, and I have stealth.
Okay, which of you is the lightest?
Probably me.
Okay, who's lightest who can't climb walls?
Probably me.
All right, I pick you up and start running for the wall.
All right.
Don't struggle. If I drop you, it'll hurt.
I'm assuming you're going to run at a wall that doesn't have a lot of people lined out up front, of which there are. Yeah.
I'll pick one that's a little less obtrusive, obviously.
Perfect. That is super easy to pick. There's a wall that'll facilitate this. So this sounds like this is going to be a roll of some kind. Probably strength-based if you're picking someone up, unless that's stupid easy for you.
I've got 4 strength. I don't know how heavy they are.
That is pretty stupid easy. Give me strength and athletics.
All right. Hang on a second.
Difficulty normal, 7, 6?
6 is normal.
6. Difficulty 6. Here we go. The first roll of the demake.
Okay, and where should I be rolling it again?
I linked the little dice roller guy.
Meanwhile, I'm just going to go around back and look for a back door, probably with some bartenders on break smoking out back.
There is a servant's entrance, which is a loading dock, which people are smoking out back.
Perfect.
I got 4 successes.
You do that. It's so easy for you to do it. I can't believe it was so easy. You just did it. You made it look so easy.
Uh-huh.
Might as well not have filmed it. It was that easy. Just scene swipe. You guys are up there. You barely were at risk of dying.
How do we get in from here?
So we have 2 solars now on the roof of a castle. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in the back door.
All right. There's people mulling about the back door. Dexterity and stealth.
Sure. Do I really need to roll to slip in a door that somebody's just gone in?
It could be interesting if you fail, so sure.
Okay.
You don't have the rule of 1s on this because your cast skill is stealth.
Okay, let's see. Are we rolling? Where are we rolling?
I'll relink the dice roller for you.
Okay, thanks. Oh,
Pop, there it is.
count dice. D10. What's Dex plus stealth?
Yep, I think that's 10 for you. It's almost impossible for you to fail, but you could.
10. Roll. Difficulty what?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah, just so easy. Usually, no one even notices that you're trailing them. So, yeah, there are people outside. They are dressed in they're dressed in goth club outfits. I don't know. It's not like super over the top, but it's a lot of black and whites and weirdly anachronistic tuxedos, but not like medieval peasant outfit. They're clearly service staff. They don't look super happy to be here. They're smoking a lot and on their phone a lot. But yeah, they're heading back in. You can just trail right behind them.
I do. And I start making my way through the back rooms and seeing what's seeing the layout of the place.
All right. So by my count, we're 1 Exalt not in the castle right now, right?
Yep. That'd be me.
Who is me?
This is Sala.
Aha. How are you getting into the castle?
I guess I will follow the other 2 solars.
You can just climb up walls?
I will roll for it.
But like you just do that.
I can send down a rope.
All right. The rope would make it it would make it just happen for sure. It's the tool for the job.
Okay.
All right. Everyone is now in the castle. The castle is the most generic castle layout you can think of because of how zoning permits work. So it has 4 turrets, the 4 walls on each side in between the turrets. There are 3 levels to it, with the middle part of the castle, the keep, you might say, having a middle, larger turret that becomes a big, giant, open club ballroom design with small rooms alongside of it sealed off in various configurations. There is like a balcony in the middle part of the club so people can look down over the railing and sneer at the peasants on the dance floor while they talk about their business. And there's like a private balcony loft, like where John Wilkes Booth would kill Abraham Lincoln, where the prince of the city would clearly hang out with his retinue.
So
That is like bouncers in front of it.
Is this like a the vampires are going to lock the doors and kill everyone inside kind of situation, or is it they've taken some people hostage and they're squirreled away somewhere in the castle situation?
Your go-between does not know. He just told you that they're in the castle and they will be molested by vampires, whether killed, drained, or turned into vampires by the end of the night. Whatever that amounts to.
So are any of my followers around? And as a reminder, my character's followers are the weird little creatures that he discovered upon cracking open an occult matrix and learning sorcery.
Do you want them to be around?
I would love them to be out of character. In character,
Perfect.
they just
You got a little gremlin.
Cool.
Little Greeble walks out of the shadows to hang out with you. He has a cigarette.
I kind of, double take a moment because it always takes me a moment to realize they're there. They're like, oh, you're one of them, right?
It starts talking, and it sounds like the Twilight people from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, in that they're talking backwards and it's digitized, and your mind translates it as a text box in front of you. Or it's like, yes, I am here. This is where I am.
Perfect. Do you know what the vampires are into?
Herding cattle into their keep.
These ones, or are there specific ones somewhere? It's like I kind of motion to the platform where people are dancing when I say the first part.
It's trying to intuit what you want, so it tells you that there is it doesn't know the word for what it's trying to say. So it says there is a room that is a ranch or barn for cattle where there are people who are not dancing at the club right now under the castle.
All right. I kind of look to the other solars since they're who are with me. It's like, it sounds like that they've got a specific ranch. I kind of make air quotes for that. So not the people that are dancing.
It would be real handy if you texted me that information.
I do so after a good minute of realizing that there's someone else we're supposed to be communicating with.
You ping the group chat. I'm assuming there's a group.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Your little
vamp rescue chat.
Your little Greeble, as all good followers do, expects you to reciprocate now and puts out its hand because it wants smokes.
Yeah. I handed smoke because, of course, I have one in my pocket.
It grabs however many you give it and stuffs it into its mouth and then scurries away into the darkness.
All right. It's a good thing it wasn't the one that wants buttons because I'm fresh out.
So we need to find So we need to get into the basement under this place.
Yes, so now I'm looking for a basement or dungeon. So I start looking for where there are security guards standing around looking inconspicuous.
Perfect. There are layers to this castle. So the first layer is the goth club, where everyone is dancing, having a good time, and getting real horny about it, as you all do in goth clubs run by vampires. This is not Blade, though. They're not turning on a blood sprinkler. This is going to be like a slaughter or anything. This is like a business that has a business license. So there's like a bar. It's an open bar. And unlike the fascist state of Canada we live in, you're allowed to pick your drink up from the bar and take it with you with their liquor licenses. Don't ask. Canada's a nightmare for bars. That's why there's no bar scene. So people are drinking, having fun, partying. Clearly, there are people who think they're vampires and that they filed their teeth and are in their 40s, like hanging out with people. And you see the people who are clearly actually vampires also preying on people. It's a goth club in the 2020s. This is the state of affairs of the world.
Right.
I should point out, because it is the 2020s, they're wearing a mask when they walk in, and then they put it in the garbage and then continue on in and just start partying.
Of course.
There's also hand sanitizer dispensers just everywhere. So that's layer one. Vampire Club. Layer 2 is the dungeons you're not looking for, in that there are places that are a little off to the side that are sex related, and you don't want those right now.
Right.
Well,
So-
we
Wrong
aren't focused
kind of dungeon.
right now.
Wrong kind of dungeon. But if you continue pursuing this train of thought and poking around and looking at walls to click like you're in Doom, you'll eventually realize that there are hidden passages and all sorts of secrets in here that the fire marshal would not approve of in the real world that lead to a sort of underlayer to Castle Ravenloft, presumably where the elusive count resides.
Would this be a dex and larceny roll?
Oh, I'm just giving it to you because
Okay.
you're stupid competent. If this was like World of Darkness, this would be like the whole session. You're blowing through this. You have 10s and things, Steph, and you don't get the rule of 1s. You're just fucking blowing through this adventure.
All right.
So
Well-
you all, if Steph relays this info, which I'm sure you're going to talk
I
about,
do.
can have access point knowledge of how to get into the part of the castle you're not allowed to be in.
I also tell them where bodyguards, both human and supernatural, are, and what's guarded and what's not, so that they can find the straightest, most efficient route to the dungeons. The not sex dungeons.
This place is also gaudy as fuck. Like, there's statue of the Mother Mary crying blood because they put sprinklers under the eyes, and there's upside down Jesus crucifixes everywhere. It's super fucking gaudy.
Amazing.
It's like somebody threw a grenade into a Spirit Halloween store and spray painted it black with goth makeup.
Those are the best kind of goth clubs.
Yeah, the vampires did not put a lot of effort into this. They have a real low opinion of the cattle. Those fuckers will take anything that has black mascara on.
Apparently, they didn't need to put too much effort into it.
Yeah.
I continue scouting, and I start making my way into the under dungeons.
All right. So, what about the rest of you?
Catch up. They're
How are
trying
we
to catch up.
going?
One at a time?
Go ahead.
We should try and catch up with her. Look out for our employees only signs.
That's about what I was going to say. I'm not nearly as stealthy, and by not nearly, I mean none.
Are you thinking you should regroup? Like, is that thing like trying to catch up wise?
Right.
I believe so.
All right. So, are you up for that, Steph? You guys going to regroup, or are you going to keep going solo?
I'll keep going solo.
All right. Nope. You can't catch the assassin. She's too good at it.
All the trail bodies.
Well, I'm actually not killing anybody. I'm just sneaking my way around and seeing where stuff is and how it's laid out. And once we actually get, if there is a room that is heavily guarded and has a bunch of humans in it, then I'll stop and wait for you guys.
So the entryways you have access to the interior of the castle are Zero points out that there is a service elevator kind of near the loading dock that actually, if you press the button in a certain way with a key, goes down further than basement into the human cattle area. This is where they, load and unload stuff you need a truck for. It's just logistics. They're not all using potents. The other way in is there are some staircases behind bookshelves, and there's like a creepy elevator in like the penthouse. So those are your three options for getting in. Steph is already in the interior. I'll describe the interior in a moment.
Well, I'm for the elevator.
I was just thinking, we're already on the roof. Might as well go for the penthouse.
Yeah, works for me.
All right, penthouse.
All right. The penthouse has a third-generation trust funder with pale skin and blonde hair in the middle of an orgy. There you go. It's occupied. I don't mean third-generation vampire. I mean, like, he's 3 generations rich, so he has no skills.
Uh-huh. Well, let's try and avoid the upper-class twit.
Yeah.
Unless there's a key that's obviously around that we can use, I think we can
Steal his
avoid.
pants on the way through.
Yeah, this is that fancy graded elevator in the penthouse, so for fire marshal reasons, the actual key has to be in the ignition in case of a fire, so there is no secret key to this elevator.
Okay.
Look up American elevator key laws. They're really fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
You could break into a lot of buildings, listeners.
All right.
So, yeah, the obstacle is there are people in the room between you and the elevator. You're up, I'm assuming, looking at a skylight. The skylight's stained glass. You can't see through it, but it also has like weird astrology patterns on it and moon stuff, and it's all neon tubes, so it's creating this enormous plasma glare all over the place.
To be fair, the people are pretty occupied, so it probably wouldn't be too hard to sneak around them.
I was just going to say, do we just want to kind of go for it and see how much they care? For all they know, it's, someone who went off to get a drink.
Sure. You know what? Who among you has the worst stealth score?
Me.
I mean, as I said, mine's 0.
Same.
But my
Give it a
dexterity's
try.
5.
Yeah, roll a naked stealth score at me.
I will.
No, naked stealth is what these people are going to be doing to get home.
Difficulty?
6. They're all distracted and drunk and on cocaine.
Should I be rolling dexterity or something?
Just dexterity. If you don't have the skill, go for it. I don't remember what the rule is for not having the skill, and I don't know where I'd find it.
I think you just roll. I don't think there's any special rule for it in Demake. I'm not entirely sure.
I got 2 successes.
I got 0 successes.
Oops.
1, 6, 9, 2, 1. Yep. Good old
I
one.
got 2 successes.
I was just going to have one person roll, by the way. The rest of you are, if you have any stealth score, you're going to be able to do it. It's just a problem for someone that doesn't have stealth. I think willpower lets you do a reroll if you want.
That is true.
Without
give that a try.
Tripping over the orgy.
Yeah, you know what? Fine. Let's roll with the willpower. 2 successes.
Hey, that's all I wanted was 1 success. Look at that. We learned how willpower works. Now it's locking into your brains that it's there. So you all move around at the perimeter of the building, like the perimeter of the room. There is the elevator. It is open. Someone has actually smashed the hidden covering thing in attempting to pull out a bottle of alcohol that's actually part of the mechanism that reveals it, and just left it askew and open. The key has a bunch of scratches around the keyhole, like an alcoholic operates this.
All right. Well,
Going down.
going down.
Yep. Down you go. So, at the same time, let us describe the underworks of Castle Ravenloft. The dungeon we have already described. The underworks of Castle Ravenloft. So, it is cavernous down here with stone pillars and high voltage ceilings and wooden separator walls that have kind of been just put into place to kind of ad hoc turn this place around. Clearly there are cells down here, but they're not iron medieval cells. Those are the floor up where it's their entertainment. These are just like kind of cheaply made. And yeah, people have been separated into cells. There are tables that have like drain your blood upside down cattle tables in here. It's a horror show. There are dudes and gals that are just in regular boring clothing, just like going through lists, talking to each other, picking people out to drain.
All right.
It looks like they're not able to actively engage right now because they have to wait. But they got to wait before they have supper. They're talking about it casually. If you're sneaking around them, they're like, oh my God, when is he going to get here?
So how many people are there? How many cells are there? How many humans are there? How many vampires are there?
There are 4 cells with 12 people each in them that are all humans that need to be rescued. So 12, 24, 36, 48 people. There are roughly 30 vampires. I can't say vampires. There's roughly 60 people you would want to beat up in here.
Okay.
It's unclear how many are vampires or people or ghouls, which you've heard about. They're Renfields. Renfields aren't hard to get across as a concept to you.
Well, that sounds like I'm going to need backup. So I text the layout of the cells and how many people and how many victims there are, and wait for the rest of my guys.
Perfect. Your elevator will bring you down to an entry area into this. As you look at it more, the cells are set up in a wedge formation next to each other, kind of pointing inward to a central, kind of ringed area. This is a maze. They've turned this whole basement into a maze of sorts to chase people through. That's what the divider walls are for shaping and changing it around maze to maze run.
Oh, nice.
Looks like they want a little sport in their meal.
Yeah, there's even a little balcony to presumably look down on stuff. but it has like, one area access to it, and there's clearly people up there kind of poking around, so you might get caught. It's sort of a crow's nest in a prison situation.
Uh-huh. A panopticon.
Yes, I didn't want to use that term this early on, but yes, it's a panopticon.
I'm going to check 0. How many are armed? Not too good with these smartphones.
Yeah, how many are armed? I'd be able to tell them that.
Probably, and this is shocking for this part of America at this time of day, at this climate, 5 of them have firearms.
Okay.
They're like visible.
And that little crow's nest is the only crow's nest that looks down and it's occupied.
Yeah. Grotesquely, though, the ceiling of this place is like plate glassed and frosted. You can actually see the people dancing above through like red plate glass, and that light's shining down on the maze under here.
Oh, nice.
They didn't notice anything? Amazing.
I mean, it's set up in such a way that you'd maybe hear screams, but you think it was just like the ambient Halloween track. It's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
I concur.
So yeah, even though 5 of them have guns, quote unquote, maybe 20 of them have cattle prods of some kind, like shocky sticks.
Okay.
I should mention that.
Is there any other area that I can see most of the room from that's not occupied by people?
It's tricky because it looks like a lot of people are in town for this event for some reason. Like a lot of people are here. It looks like areas are filling out. People are grouping up into cliques. Parts of the maze are being occupied by people with tables or Shea lounges or whatever.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just wait for the brute force to show up then.
And you guys can be on scene whenever you want. What is your plan?
Well, I suppose I would like a better idea than who knows as to what's a vampire and what's not. So I, basically as soon as we get there, I'm going to activate all-encompassing sorcerer's sight, which is just a roll. So,
and what does that do? Let the listeners know.
Right. So all-encompassing sorcerer's sight, you use an action to survey the essence of the world, and the more successes you roll, the more supernatural things you can detect and the more detail you get to it. Largely up to the ST as to what goes to what, and you can learn to recognize what's what in terms of things like your circle mates or possibly the difference between a vampire and not a vampire.
I'm just going to throw out that Noah, your character, understands the magic patterns of your friends, and you probably know what a vampire is, because the vampire that is the in-between for this is if you can scan magic, he didn't say magic, he said something much cooler and more in character, scan me so you have the signal in your magic brain.
Right.
It was much more interesting than that, but we're moving on.
I'm sure I'm sure I wouldn't necessarily know the difference of magic patterns yet, but I imagine there will be less quote unquote essence in a Renfield than in a full vampire.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you've seen any vampire victims in the couple of weeks you've been around, vampire victims are close to death because their life has been sucked out by a monster, and Renfields aren't much better because their life has been polluted by some sort of supernatural contaminant choking the life out of them.
Cool. Alrighty, 8 successes.
Jiminy Christmas. Okay, yeah. All right, you're able to easily ascertain a demographic if you guys can carouse around a bit.
Now that being said, I'm not sure how stealthy we are arriving in the elevator.
I'm probably not very.
Neil, there's pounding music going down here, and of course, the living dead also probably have heightened senses, but it looks like no one's picked up that you're out of place just yet.
All right.
Well, shall we just casually stroll through it and see if anyone starts acting up?
Always get into a good position.
Yeah, I was looking for a sniper nest, but I can just, perch on a wall somewhere.
You absolutely could do that.
A good sniper nest would probably be the crow's nest.
Yeah, but that's occupied.
I mean, you could perch up on a wall and kill everyone in the crow's nest and occupy the crow's nest.
That was kind of my plan.
There you go.
Important question mechanically, do the cages count as separate zones to where most of the jerks are?
Zone time. Let's talk zones. So, there is one zone in the center of the maze, which is the center of the maze, where the caged humans are, and a bunch of awful stuff is going to happen. There is the second zone, which is the maze proper. It's a nightmare to navigate. You'll probably have a penalty to do so. And the third zone is everything not inside the maze on the outside, which is the rest of this stupid fucking basement.
Okay.
And there's one zone above worth of zone just hanging out there in the ether where someone could shoot from above.
Right.
I would say that the assassin and the sorcerer work on the above zone, and myself and our dear captain will go through the maze.
Sounds good to me. Are we going to actually try to follow it or go over it?
No, I was thinking about going through it.
I will point out the maze walls are made of like construction wall, like not particle board, not like plywood, but like they're very crashable. I'm just saying they're not cheap, but they're very crashable if you're a superhero, which you are. So that plan is excellent.
It's just drywall. You can go right through them.
That's the plan.
Yeah. You know, if you were a person running through a maze scared because you're being hunted, this would be a nightmare to stop and break through. You wouldn't be able to do it in time. You guys are different. You have a different circumstance that makes this childishly easy.
And I have 10 hours meditation. Should it be necessary?
Yeah, that was in mind too. So,
I'm here for a juggernaut joke, but I'm not making it.
Right?
Oh.
So who wants to take point as we begin?
I will spend a moat to be able to walk and run on walls for the rest of the scene. I signal to you guys that I am up on a wall in sight of the crow's nest, and that when you guys are ready, I will clear it out, and then you should throw. And once it's cleared out, you should throw the sorcerer up there.
Throw him? Okay.
Whee!
Can you walk on walls?
No.
Then you can get thrown up there.
Get hucked.
Because it's a safe place for you to do sorcery.
There's just there's that little thing that comes up, you know, when someone's typing in the group chat and then it just vanishes. That's what comes through.
All right. All right. So,
Steph, you've positioned yourself on a wall or ceiling to overview the crow's nest. Is what
Captain leads the way.
All right.
I will be the tail end, and we'll start. We'll go through this.
Literally, I'm going to draw my saber and start smashing through walls. I got a -3 if I have to make a stretch check to bust through them.
No, I'm not going to make you roll for that. That's insane. That's stunt fodder.
That's going to get some attention, I think.
Yeah. So, strife has begun. Who wants to take point?
I will start firing at the crow's nest.
The crow's nest has 2 guys. Kill them. End their life.
Let's see. I don't need unlimited names. Ranged attack. Piercing.
I will point out that Steph's character has a real life, honest to God composite longbow.
Nice.
With wooden arrows.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Splinter of the Void. The Abyssal reflexively spends 1 mote when making a ranged attack. Its base damage is increased by the archery or thrown, gains piercing, and inflict a maul wound at no additional cost.
Jiminy Christmas.
Can I...
Not quite as flashy as the Exalted versus World of Darkness version, which makes
Let's see.
It upgrades over time.
Still
Base damage by 2 from the turn. Can I do multiple attacks a turn?
No, not unless you have a charm that lets you do it, as far as I understand, right, gang?
That is correct.
It's one of the major things that stops everything from falling apart.
Okay. Add plus 1 moat. Yeah, okay. I will just nuke one of those guys.
Roll. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Archery and dexterity.
Oh my god, I don't have any momentum.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus, and how is damage counted?
So, whatever your damage rating of your bow is, you will then add the threshold successes above the 1 success you need to hit someone. That's right, gang?
Yes.
I think
you just
total
throw
success
all the
is get rid of that
successes.
stupid +1.
Say that again?
I think it's the total successes period, so including the first.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no
excellent. I
minus
always
one.
hated that. So, yeah, Steph, add your damage to the successes you rolled, and then roll those damage dice against their soak. Their soak is the difficulty for you to do a damage.
So it's successes plus what?
Damage.
What is damage?
Both.
On
Whatever
your
your bow
character
is.
sheet, you have a bow.
Where is that?
It is the 1, 2, third. It is the third column. Wait,
Two
where'd it go?
hand
Oh, it's under abilities.
abilities.
See just that section that says weapons?
Defensive, stealth. I'm working on it. Just general charms, backgrounds.
Right above
Backgrounds.
Okay. Damage 5. So it's successes plus damage, and roll that.
Yep, against the difficulty of their soak, this character's soak is 6. So you roll those dice. 6 and above count as a success for damage.
Okay.
How many successes did you get?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 12
Jesus.
dice.
So 13 dice.
I won't even have to use an ability for this.
Sure, perfect.
Well,
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Successes on the damage roll.
Yes.
He is out of the fight. If you want that to be he's dead, go for it. It's your call.
Okay.
What happens to this guy? He's standing, he's looking down at the maze. Then what happens to him, Steph?
Suddenly, well, is he a vampire?
No, he was just a man.
Oh,
Was.
He could still be alive. We don't know yet.
I thought he was a vampire.
If you thought he was a vampire, did you aim for a heart shot or a head shot then?
If he was a vampire, I aimed for a heart shot. If
That it sounds like an arrow went through his heart, Steph.
all right, then a guy was standing on the balcony, and suddenly there is a shaft sprouting from his chest, and he slumps slowly forward over the balcony railing.
Okay. Does he make a lot of noise when he falls? I know there's a charm that lets you control it, but you can kind of just make your calls here.
No, he doesn't even have to fall onto the floor. He can just slump over the railing.
All right, the dude just slumps, and the guy next to him is now looking at him. Because he didn't see the arrow go in because it happened too quickly and too silently.
I will fire at the next guy.
We'll come to you.
I guess this
everyone
is
else
the end of
goes.
my turn, yes.
Yep. All right. First blood has been drawn.
Okay.
Who's up next?
Are we going in right?
It's whoever wants to call I want to go next. Whoever wants it more.
I thought one of them goes next.
Oh, shit. You're right.
Unless we
All
get
right.
ahead.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. That guy is going to check that guy as his action and realize that guy's been murdered by an arrow, and he's going to pull the fire alarm to raise the alarm here in this section of the castle. The fire alarm does not trigger it for the entire building. It's an alarm they've hotwired to be a intruder alert. That will be his turn.
This is violating the fire code, but I don't think they care down here.
It's a contentious thing about how much of the fire code they are allowed to violate. So, the rest of the battle is now alert that they are in a battle.
Oh, well.
Who wants to go next? That was his turn.
I'll go, making a dramatic Kool-Aid Man entrance. Smashing through a wall out near the big area. Prepare yourselves! My cutlass drawn.
A man pirate bursts through the wall. All right. The vampires turn and make that vampire hissing sound as you.
Guess I'll attack the nearest one who just did that silly cliche.
All right. It is a dude. He is in a fancy-looking business suit with, a red tie or whatever, and a pin that has some sort of subtle vampire symbol on it. And he has a shit-ass haircut, and he's hissing at you, and you're going to stab him.
Yep, 9 dice. Okay. What's the difficulty on that?
The difficulty to hit this guy, I'm going to give him I'll give him that stat block just to say he's one of these boys. His defense is 7.
All right. 4 successes.
All right.
Oh, hold it. 5 successes. I think that's a favorite. Wait, you said favorite do have to subtract 1 roll, right?
Favored subtract ones from the attack rules. Yeah.
Okay, only 4 successes then.
Only.
And let's see if he didn't defend. Then what's this? Damage for that.
I actually can't defend because I don't have any momentum to spend because none of these assholes are above Essence 1. I'm supremely fucked.
Well, didn't that first guy get knocked out? Doesn't that give you a momentum?
I think it might. I think I have 1 momentum then. All right. I forgot. I'm learning as I go with you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
I believe it's strength +2, so that'd be 4 + 4. 10 damage. What's the soak?
6. He's not wearing armor.
Well, they might have fortitude or something, yes.
That's why his soak is 6. Because he's not wearing armor.
All right.
Yeah, my soak's 5.
3 successes. Wait, hold on. Nope, that's right.
Just 1 below his stagger threshold. You almost crashed him. All right.
Oh, well, I hit him anyway. In fact, raw blood indicates, yep, vampire.
Oh, yeah, he does that vampire hiss. I'm going to copy his stat sheet into the battle sheet here so we can start managing that on the fly.
Brace yourself, Anopheles.
So you did 4 damage?
3.
3, sorry. He is at 4 health levels. Okay. No, he's only 1. All right, down he goes. You carve into him, and it does not make the blood spray you're expecting, of course, because the living dead. But he recoils back. Clearly, no one's ever done this to him before in his life. So he looks awfully surprised, and I will have him retaliate at you.
That gets me a point of dodge or block, right?
That's if you stagger.
If you staggered him.
Oh, okay.
You were 1 below. If you got 1 more, you would have got him good.
Oh, well.
All right. The K-Knight Warrior, what does he do? He is going to roll to attack you, so he gets a nice 7 dice. What is your defense?
8.
Fuck. 0 successes and a 1. How does botching work in this system?
That is a botch. I know that.
It is a botch.
I think it's just up to you in combat.
I just want to see the word botch and see what happens to someone when they make that mistake of botching. Oh, here we go. It's just go fuck yourself. Okay. He attempts to throw himself at you and just crumples under the weight of running into you, like he thought he was going to knock you over and tear your throat out, and he literally just runs into you and knocks off of you like you were a stone pillar and just hits the floor, crumples. He is now prone. that was his turn.
I'm going to do my math this turn.
I can see them now through the captain-shaped hole, right?
Yes, the cartoonishly captain-shaped hole, because much like an aberrant, you guys have that sort of control over things via the magic of essence. Yeah, you saw that happen.
If nobody's opposed, I'm going to start casting my spell.
Which spell?
Flight of the Brilliant Raptor.
I mean, there's only one spell worth casting.
Right. Sounds like a good one to do in the middle of a vampire-infested room.
So I will... So
what does
sorry, go ahead.
beginning to shape the essence of sorcery look like to these people who've never seen it before?
Well, at first it sounds like I'm just starting to talk crazy talk. I'm speaking basically like those little gremlins were talking to me before.
It has that backwards track to it.
Right. And then as I continue, the area is kind of like crackling and warping a bit, and then it's just like an explosion of energy starting to build up around me all of a sudden.
Oh, so you're just generating basically the equivalent of St. Elmo's fire around you, making little scorch marks here and there.
Right.
Perfect.
And I'm going to activate my excellency, because why would you ever not activate your excellency when trying to cast sorcery in combat?
Sweet, sweet mana.
All right. And I also, just to mention it for everyone, had Emerald Induction Technique, which means I'm at a -1 difficulty for shaping sorcery.
That's an excellent charm to pick up when you're a sorcerer.
Yes, it is. So, 20 dice, difficulty 5.
Vampire be gone.
That gets me 14 successes. Not quite enough to one turn it, because it's 17 for Blood of the Brilliant Raptor.
I'm assuming that amount of motes being spent triggered your anima?
No, it's a willpower to start sorcery. I only spend 1 mote on the excellency. So technically my anima's not going, I just have weird sorcery around me.
Oh, okay. Good. Excellent. That sets the scene very well. Perfect. Well, that's your turn, I'm assuming.
Yep.
The other vampire, a woman in a dress, is going to charge the sea captain and attempt the exact same thing that guy tried. Let me just copy that stat block over. See how this goes.
It can't be worse.
All right. Roll to hit. Another botch.
Ow.
It's hard to roll 8s, especially when ones subtract.
Oh.
I don't mean to be cartoonish because this isn't a comedy, but the exact same thing happens. She thought the first vampire sucked and was weak, as all arrogant vampires do, and assumed she was stronger because she's from Clan Gangrel, and just ran into you full tilt and fell right the fuck over prone. Your guys' turn.
Okay. I'm assuming that the 3 solars are in the same zone still?
Does that sound right? 3 solars?
No, I didn't go through the wall. I'm aiming through it, so I'm in the maze, quote unquote.
Okay.
Because no one actually threw me up to the crow's nest yet.
Not yet.
We haven't gotten there.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the hole.
The hole can accommodate.
Yeah. As he steps through the hole, brings out this kind of broken-esque riot shield, and takes out basically like a metal sledge, like a one-handed sledge type thing.
Oh,
Hammer? Nice.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is activate Warline Stance, which I reflexively spend 1 mote, and I'm going to apply the Protect action to a comrade in the same zone, which is the captain. So this protection continues until one of the characters move to a different zone, until the end of the scene, or until I am staggered, whichever comes first.
That would you defend for me? Thanks.
Yeah. So your defense goes up by my block, which is 5.
So effectively 9.
Oh, no. Sorry. Your defense goes by my block, which is 6. So, yeah.
So it can't go above 9, right?
Can't
It's
go
just
above 9.
virtually above there.
Well, it
if
can
anything-
go above 9. It's just the roll can hurt it.
There's a virtual floating number for penalties to be gobbled up by before you even go below 9.
That is correct.
Horror show. All right. A third elite K-Knight warrior. I need to add him to the battle sheet.
I haven't done my action yet. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed all of that was. Continue, please.
That was a reflexive thing. I'm going to take the hammer down on the woman vampire that just attempted to attack the captain.
Okay. She's prone. So that means
Lower difficulty?
very little. Her attack will suffer a -2 penalty. So not anything for you, apparently.
Yeah.
All right. K-Knight Warrior's defense is, on the battle sheet, 7.
7? Okay. One moment here.
Wait. Yeah, no, yeah, it's the difficulty. Right.
Let's see. Said 7. And as this is a cast ability, ones do not count.
Oh, right.
I only did 3 successes to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And so that will be... what was the soak of this thing again?
6.
6? Okay. I once canceled out my successes, so nothing.
Oh. Just no damage.
No damage.
Well, you hammered into her, and vampires, they're really tough, so
Yep.
still, it's shocking that you did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that exercise thing where you take a sledgehammer to a big truck tire? That's what it felt like.
It's still shocking that you did that to her. No one's happy about this at all. All right. That's your turn?
That is my turn.
A ghoul who was with both these vampires takes out their shocky stick, and they're going to stab the sea captain. Let me look at what a green soldier's role is. Oh, no. What's your difficulty to hit the sea captain? Is it
9 at the moment.
Another botch. So, listeners, I hope you're picking up on a trend here on what you should be optimizing for in the demake. He shocks himself. He tases himself. He hits you. He doesn't tase you. It bounces off, and then, like, when it arcs back, it hits him, and he just goes down prone. Who's next? Who hasn't gone? Is that everyone?
I think that's everyone on our side.
If I had a counterattack charm, I'd be cleaning house already.
It'd be a bloodbath. I was assuming there'd be 3 more exalts, and that this wouldn't be anything. This is you're still cleaning house much more than I assumed you would. Okay, new turn. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Slow people up.
Oh,
Okay.
Either way.
All right, then I'll go first.
Okay.
From where I am,
to let you know, the other guy in the crow's nest is getting ready to draw his gun
well,
and shoot at the exalts from above.
from where I am, I leap, land on him. If he is human, that probably knocks him out or wins him. If he is a vampire, it does not. What is it?
It's an attack roll to do that to him.
Okay.
That would be staggering him, essentially.
Okay.
So you're trying to attack him unarmed, essentially, instead of with a bow.
That's probably not the best idea then.
You
All
could
right.
also just shoot him to not be murdered.
Okay.
You have
I will
control over that.
You can shoot him and then stunt that you jumped on him if you stagger him with the shot.
Okay.
That's what I asked before. I'm like, hey, how'd you shoot this guy? And you're like, through his heart. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And then you can just be like, well, I'm an Abyssal Exalt. When I shoot this guy, it won't kill him. But to make sure the Neverborn aren't mad at me, it merely maims him for life.
Then I will shoot him in the arm that is holding the gun.
Perfect. End his scholarship.
Yes.
So he is also a green soldier, which means his stat is... His defense is 5. You have to roll 5s on your attack.
Okay. And my stunt is I leap towards the crow's nest, and while I'm leaping, I fire in midair towards this guy.
Perfect. Awesome. Deadly. A nightmare.
Where'd that dice roller go? And that would
Dex
be,
plus archery, I think that's just 10 dice.
Yeah.
Resting heartbeat of 10.
And it'll be not 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do ones take away?
From damage? Yes.
Or, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For the listeners, the dawn casts of many Exalt types have a power that stop that from happening. Look into it.
5 successes.
Fuck. Okay, so your damage plus 5 you have to roll against him, because that hits him.
It's a soak.
6. He's wearing a flak jacket.
Damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Damage?
Yes.
That crashes him. So your dodge or your... By the way, every time you crash someone, your dodge or your block goes up by 1, and I'm assuming you're raising your dodge because you're a dodge character. So
Yeah.
your dodge... You have like, whoa, what is it? Like 7 dodge dice just on hand at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he crashes and has... Well, you did 6 damage. He has 1 hit point left.
Okay, so he's probably...
Wait, you wounded him.
Oh.
Oh, fuck me, you wounded him. You have a charm that can just permanently scar this guy for life if you want to spend an essence.
Do I need to?
You don't need to, but, it's funny.
I mean, he's down for the count. I don't need it. My thoughts have already passed on, and he is not a blip in my radar.
All right, the Neverborn will have a conversation about this later. They're hoping for blood. All right, he goes down with a lacerated wound, as is your power having a bow. That's him.
And now I'm in the crow's nest and looking for any outstanding threats.
So, listeners, when you suffer a lacerated wound, you get a -2 die wound penalty for every time you suffer that wound, and recovering requires a week of rest for a human being and 3 days for an Exalt. So for every roll this guy does, for the next week, he loses 2 dice from it, I think.
Nice.
If Steph just kept doing this to him like a psycho, it'd be like -2, -4, -6, -8. And that would be his life.
Where he just can't do anything ever again.
Yeah, down he goes. All right. Well, you took out the 2 crow's nests. He had a gun. It's there on the ground next to his body, and you're in the crow's nest now.
Okay.
So the bad guys get to go. The vampire on the ground that has already been injured will take a swift action to rise from prone, which I think also counts as his complex move action. Right?
Sounds right.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So if that's his complex action, that means he can't. That means it's a simple action. That means that's all he gets to do, right?
I think complex just penalizes your simple.
Oh, well, he only gets 1 simple action. I gotta.
Let's see, complex.
These are things we need to know because proning people is like one of the things you guys are going to be doing constantly.
Okay, yeah, you use a swift action to spring back to your feet, but it's complex movement, and then complex movement itself imposes a -3 dice penalty on whatever other actions they take during the round.
Oh, so it's +2 difficulty to hit any of you. Okay. He is going to use his complex move. He's going to use his complex movement penalized attack to attack the Solar who isn't the sea captain with the sledgehammer. Clearly, the sea captain's the problem in this equation. Also, I think he has rules about frenzying, and that might be starting.
All right. Difficulty 8.
No, he hasn't been wounded yet, so that's not happening. He doesn't get rage powers or rage problems. Difficulty 8. Fuck. Okay. Okay, boy, what do you got? 7 dice. What do I got here for him? What do I got? Oh, hey, at the end of the round, both vampires heal their damage by 1. One moment. Let me just make that quick adjustment. So he has 5 health instead of 4, and the other one didn't get wounded yet.
Mhm.
That is not saving them like I thought it would. Okay, so now I can look at what he got. He will. Where's that power? Okay, he is going to spend 1 of my momentum I have 2, to the rest of the scene. His unarmed attacks gain +2 damage and are now aggravated.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Again, he hasn't hit any of you. He will then spend his second momentum I have to blood buff and gain his essence rating and bonus dice to all physical actions until the end of the scene or until he's dead.
So 1 dice.
Which doesn't even cancel the complex movement penalty.
Yeah. So here he goes. What's your? Oh yeah, and it's difficulty 9 for him, basically, right?
No, it'd be 8 for me right now.
Okay, then that's with the penalty he has.
His penalty is to his dice.
Oh, it's a dice penalty.
Yes.
Oh,
Minus 3
I
dice.
misunderstood. Botch.
Another one?
Yeah, I rolled no
It's not their
successes
day.
and a 1.
You've got a riot shield, right? You know that
Yep.
scene from some LARP thing? Tell me how the grass tastes, little man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think you just reenacted that with the concrete.
he assumed with his blessed power of Cain and the fact that you just swung a hammer that you would be off balance and that the sea captain's an anomaly in this entire situation and he is not thinking about the sorcerer behind you yet. And he charges into you, and I'm assuming you, being the glorious solar dawn you are, move your arm to interpose your riot shield, and down he goes again prone.
Yep.
That was my turn. Who wants to go next?
Can I finish casting now?
Sure. Go for it.
Cool. I would like to hopefully do that. Now, I probably don't need the excellency to finish casting, but it's every action for the turn, and there's a secondary attack roll that uses occult anyway, so I may as well activate the excellency.
Oh, boy.
So, let's see here. Once again, 20 dice, difficulty 5. 15 successes puts me at 29, which is plenty to cast with. So I am going to cast Flight of the Brilliant Raptor at the vampire who is not damaged yet.
All right.
So the other one on the ground, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now I make an attack roll with perception plus occult, and I would really like to use my intelligence for that. So I'm going to activate Heaven Turning Calculations too.
Of course.
And now I am bright and brilliant and solar-y.
So now it's like that queen from the Lord of the Rings when she gets offered the ring, I'm assuming. That one big, bright, angry light that's making sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. That floods this place.
Yeah.
They are more aware than they were before that a fight has broken out.
Yep, so let's see how that attack roll goes before I...
It's creating a strobe light effect on the dance floor above.
Oh, shoot. What was the difficulty for his defense?
For the one on the elite K-Knight Warrior, 7.
Okay, so let me... So that becomes 10. That just becomes 10. Cool. So that's 10 to hit, and her soak is still 6. Is it 6 against fire?
Oh, it's significantly worse against fire. Significantly worse. One moment. I am a undead, and that means. You get the aggravated -2 quality, which means you cut through. Their soak counts as 2 lower, so it's 4.
Oh, beautiful! And that is 19 damage dice because it's a base damage of 9.
Yeah,
because this is magic.
Yeah.
So That is 14 successes. So, as my anima and the energy of the sorceress motes all mingle together, they form into this horrendously huge burning bird that can probably barely be contained in the, height of the basement area. And I kind of call out move to the captain because, he's kind of in the way. And then it streaks through the hole and just utterly annihilates her, and I'm going to assume that kills her.
Yes, that is a safe assumption to have made.
So every part of her that was previously solid matter is now spread as fire throughout that entire zone, and it's now a burning bonfire hazard.
I have several questions. One, this spell is essentially a rocket-propelled grenade, so does it catch other people in it, or is it single target?
No, it basically, if I stagger her or, worse, kill her, the entire zone is a bonfire hazard now.
Right. I need to look into how hazards work, which is an excellent thing for us to learn.
Which I believe basically works by on their turn, they make the roll to resist the 3 damage hazard.
Right.
So the building has caught on fire?
A part of the building has caught fire. We don't need to what's the word? Dramatize? Catastrophize. We don't need to catastrophize, Steph. A part of the building is on fire, not all of it.
Okay. Okay.
But a fire has begun. Yes, there is fire. Fire is present in the scene of the murder.
When I hear a spell goes off, I'm going to
This is why I specifically asked what zone the people we're saving are in.
Yeah, the people you're saving are not in the zone that is on fire yet. As you know, fire likes to spread. But that is neither here nor there.
And I raised my dodge because, quote unquote, stagger.
A hazard. I don't know how they work.
To survive a hazard, you must reflectively roll to resist it. Generally, this is either dexterity athletics rolls, representing to avoid the hazard, or stamina resistance to represent toughening it out.
I'm looking at poison. Where's the actual
It's a little above that.
A little above that.
37.
37. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up.
Let's see.
Hazards and traps. Here we are. I'm on the ball. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So they just need what? 1 success?
Yes.
No, it's success cancels damage. Bonfire is 3 damage, so if you get 3 successes, you don't take any damage.
Oh, I see.
And it's an interval of 1 round, so every
I'm going to have to ask you about all these numbers again when it comes time for a vampire to act.
It's technically everyone in that zone. Sorry to the rest of you.
Right, but a vampire's going to be going next.
Right, true.
All right, so a fire is present, an explosion of definitely magical fire. Again, dance floor upstairs, there's a lot of strobe lights that they're getting, and people are partying and think it's awesome. Some of the vampires upstairs are leaving the castle now, fast. Others are going to go down to check what's going on and be very surprised. So vampire that only has 5 health. Wait, he just went, didn't he? And he failed again because he sucks. Right. That ghoul that's on the ground. What does he have to do to not be hurt by fire now?
Roll.
Roll either athletics or resistance, or if she has some other stunt to avoid fire that you can come up with.
The expertise dice of 4.
All right, difficulty is 7 for bonfire.
So 4 dice against difficulty 7, and because they're immortal, they're not suffering much more grievous issues for being a vampire. A single success.
So 2 damage.
Let me go to the battle sheet. This is the first NPC to succeed. And it didn't stagger them. Let me double check that.
Armored?
Their threshold is 3 to be staggered, so they're
Okay.
good. They're feeling good about this.
Only a little on fire.
Yeah, he's only a little on fire. He hasn't even been wounded. It's practically not a big deal. Who wants to go next? Who can go next?
I can go.
Well, he can act normally in addition to.
Oh, right.
Hazard.
So silly.
Yeah.
He is going to get up from prone. And he's going to attack you. It's the only play I got here. What is he going to do? Run? Who cares? He's an NPC. That just means that no action happens. That's a waste of a turn. So he is going to try and stase the sea captain. Because I'm assuming the sorcerer is behind the sea captain and the fellow with the riot shield.
Yeah, I'm in the maze.
The safe
area.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. 4 dice. What's the sea captain's defense?
9.
9.
Thanks.
Again, listeners, just because this is modern doesn't mean this isn't exactly how this would go down in the realm.
Right.
This is exactly what happens. Oh, that's a botch. Down he goes. They can't hurt you. You're invincible. It would take a dragon-blooded to start really wrecking your shit, and there are no dragon-blooded in sight. This is every Exalted combat in creation.
Yep.
Some of these guys had guns.
Oh,
In fairness, none have actually fired their gun.
None of them got a chance. The one guy who was going for it is going to act next turn, actually. Oh, no, he gets to act now because he's been staggered. That means he loses his turn. Damn, no, right? That's what happens when you stagger.
No, you don't lose your turn. You just can't spend willpower.
Really? Man, I'm running off of misconceptions I got to clear out real fast. Because that guy you dropped to 1, Steph, is there, wounded. He gets a turn.
Okay.
I think I get a turn first.
Oh, you do? Good. Excellent. Please, by all means.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's not going to be against the guy that's in the crow's nest because that's in a different area. But I'm going to
just isn't that relevant to what you're doing right now.
Well, I guess I have to roll to resist the bonfire.
The first PvP roll begins.
Which I will dodge.
Look, you all knew what I was capable
We're joking.
of
It's a joke.
here.
I'm joking.
I know. I'm just
Not serious.
All right, and I got 4 successes off of that. So
if you bring the sorcerer, there will be fire. It's just-
I'm going to say, or Salah says, fuck it, and he will start burning anima. We are first going to activate. Excuse me. We are first going to activate 5-fold bulwark stance, which means I do not have to spend willpower to block until the end of the scene or until I'm staggered or until my block value drops to 0.
That would require me to succeed at hitting you like your block value in times.
The second thing I'm also activating is Dipping Swallows to defense, which raises my defense by 2. So now it's 9.
Damn.
Now that my anima is turned on, is flaring, the rules of 1 does not apply to damage rules for me. So
Yep.
I'm going to take the mallet and I'm going to crush the ghoul's hand.
There is also that vampire on the ground next to you.
Oh,
Just to let you know.
then I'm going to crush the vampire's head.
Go for it. Her defense is 7?
Yeah.
She's going to have to make a fire roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to click 1 subtract before. I only did 13 damage to the
Hey, did
the vampire with 7 levels.
did the woman vampire go yet, by the way?
Not yet.
She got vaporized.
Because I know the other one got vaporized. No,
No, the woman vampire was who was vaporized.
no, okay, so it's the dude vampire who's already damaged that's on the ground that's about to get it.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. I didn't name them for
So-
obvious reasons that should have revealed themselves by now.
I have taken, I got 2 successes to hit. And dice roller. One success to damage.
That's still damage.
So I bop him on the head with a mallet.
Yeah, you just slam that into him, and he groans audibly from being hit with a mallet?
It's a one-handed hammer.
Good God. Yeah, that's gruesome. Yeah, that's horrible. That's a horrible thing. This is a horrible day for him. He's down to 4 health levels, which it's going to heal back up at the end of the turn because vampire. It's all he has going for him. That's your turn, though? Yeah, you did your simple attack. Okay, has to roll against the fire now. Right. Can't get ahead of myself. There's fire to be rolled against.
Yes.
Canine Warrior, where are you? Was he wounded? Who was wounded? Someone had a penalty, didn't they? It was that dude, that mortal.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of him. Right. All right. Here he goes. What's the difficulty on fire?
7.
Lordy. 1 success. What happens to him now?
2 damage.
Huh. Does the hazard do anything? Hey, I guess soak doesn't factor into hazards at all?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, okay. Well, he just takes straight 2 damage then. And goes down to 2 health levels. Is there anyone who hasn't gone yet?
I haven't.
The floor is yours.
I'll try and give him a very close haircut, like about a foot lower.
There we go. He has 2 health levels.
All right, let me roll. What'd you say his defense was? 7?
7.
All right. Only got 3 successes, so
Uh-oh.
9 damage. Now what's a soak?
7. No, 6. 6.
6, okay. I managed to botch on a damage roll.
You cannot botch damage rolls, luckily, but that is unfortunate. I'm sorry that happened.
Might as well when you whiffled that.
Does willpower let you reroll damage rolls?
Yeah, you can do it on pretty much anything, I believe.
Oh, I'll do that then. Okay,
Let's do that then. We should do that. It's cartoonish this guy's still alive. You've hit him so many times.
All right. Hold on. 4 successes. I like that a lot better.
That's crash and a wound. He has no more health levels.
Yay!
What kind of wound do you do with this?
Should I cut his head off, or is that a little too extreme?
I think you're allowed to just murder him, yeah. I think that can just
Okay,
happen.
that sounds good.
Let me know, Holden, if I got that wrong.
Wound, laceration through entire neck.
Yep, which gives me 1 momentum.
So now I'm left to spend it?
Yeah, the guy with 1 health level. Is it his turn? Can he go now?
I thought I just decapitated him. Oh, well.
No, you decapitated the vampire.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got them mixed up.
There is a ghoul on the ground who I think has already gone and failed, and there's that ghoul right beside Steph with 1 single health level and a wound.
Oh, do I need to roll for the hazard too?
Yes.
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 What did you say that one was? Resistance or athletics?
Right.
Just gonna cross some people out.
Stamina plus resistance, I guess, would probably be best for me. What's the difficulty on that?
7.
All right. Oops. 7. I got 4 successes. I think I'm good.
You're good, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. That one guy's turn. He can't shoot Steph because ranged weapons require 1 zone of distance. So he will attempt to shoot the sea captain.
Man,
Picks up his gun and opens fire on you. It's just a bow. It's not anything special. We're testing the creation-based stuff, not the modern stuff. But yeah, he fires at you with a gun.
Pew pew.
That lacerated wound is... Oh, God, he has no dice to this. What's your defense?
9.
Thanks.
Here we go. Botch.
I don't think he'd shoot himself. He might drop the gun, though.
The gun jams.
Oof.
Just jams.
I'll take it.
That's it.
Gun refuses to gun.
Yeah, the gun gave up. It didn't want to fight you guys. So, this section of the battle will now draw to a close. And the great question of, can 4 Exalts take on 3 green troops and 2 elite warriors with a supernatural buff? The answer is yes. Really handedly. Really handedly.
If those guys had rolled a little better, it would have gone differently.
Well, see, it wasn't rolling better. It was 1 subtracting. Don't be immortal. Never be immortal if you can help it.
Uh-huh.
Good advice.
I'm going to assume that Oh, no, wait. We got one more turn. These 2 guys are still alive. They could potentially do something to you. You have a mortal on the ground in front of the fire who's on fire, and then you have the mortal next to Steph who's gun jammed. So I'm going to say that you guys can just handle them, and we will move on to phase 2 of the rescue, the people in the cages.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that sound about right?
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Perfect. So, Steph, you're in the crow's nest. The ground troops are on the ground. The center of the maze has a variety of ghouls and vampires moving around and fleeing in different directions and not engaging you just yet. It looks like they're regrouping. But you have a center area with 4 cages, 12 people each.
Well, let's get them out of there. They want to bring a hacksaw? Or better yet, I'm just going to walk up and try and rip one off its hinges.
Test of strength
Because I've got 10 ox meditation.
for the cattle cage.
I'll have like probably a lockpick in my hand by the time he's already done ripping it off.
Oh.
Let's see if I can pull this off. Literally.
All right. It is a cage built to keep in mortals. I'm going to assume the strength difficulty to brute force it open. The one thing it's built not to be allowed would probably be like 8.
All right, so it's
What does your charm do to that difficulty?
let's see. Difficulty of feats of strength to lift or break something lowered by 3.
So it goes down to 5, less than the standard difficulty.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see you go.
Strength plus athletics.
Yeah. Tracks in my mind.
Okay, 6, 2, 5. Two successes.
That is more than enough. Because I don't want to be here all night, and you're clearly going to do it.
And start directing people towards the elevator or the stairs, whichever way has less flames.
Yeah, there's a way they can get up through the cattle elevator.
Okay.
Um,
And I'll tell the others, somebody look for a fire extinguisher.
There are many present because of the fire marshal. So you rip one of the 4 cages open. 12 people are now leaving the zone. There are 3 more cages, each requiring you to do exactly what you did to continue freeing them. It is here you now must last against the siege. Can a bunch of exalts, all of them celestial, protect 36, stave off enough opponents to save 36 mortals? Let us find out. A bunch of vampires start crawling out of the woodwork into the core of the maze where you are, avoiding the part of it that's on fire, clearly. That part is no man's land.
Right.
I'm going to call this a shovelhead party, a size 1 battle group of your basic Sabbat vampires that have been unleashed on you to kill you. At their head, I'm going to just delete these battle sheets. These battle sheets are no longer relevant to this combat because they're dead. Boop, 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 boop. Bye. At their head is an elite K-Knight warrior who is essence 3.
Ooh,
There we go. That's the ticket.
this guy.
He is clearly a sheriff of some sort. You don't know that because you're not keyed into all the lame names vampires have for themselves. So,
Not
because he
wearing
is...
a pit star, huh?
Pardon?
He's not wearing a tin star and a hat, huh?
No, he's just like a big brouhaha-looking guy who has a spear. No, these are vampire weapons. Just a hacking weapon for hacking vampires apart. He has it in his hands. He is going to use it on you guys. Because he's Essence 3, I get 2 momentum, giving me a nice 4 momentum base. So, do we want to take a quick pause to unload the save and people to go to washroom, get water and stuff?
Sure.
I think
sounds-
that's the plan.
Yeah.
probably
Excellent
good plan.
idea. I'm going to stop the recording here. And we're back. Alrighty. So we are ready for the second half of the session. You have 3 cages of mortals you're trying to free and get out of this vampire larder. There's a fire in one part of the maze that's still on fire because we have not changed scenes. There's just a lull. Here's what's going to happen. A battle group of vampires, size 1, are going to swarm in on all sides, not the fire side, to get you. Leading the pack is that sheriff I described earlier, but I'm using a different stat block to stress test you guys, and it's a very rough stat block, so I hope I don't kill the party. It hasn't ever happened, though, so I doubt it will this time. So, listeners, if this this Bruja is coming off like a nightmare, he's much stronger than I earlier indicated. So just go with that. Live with it. So, that is the scene, gang. Vampires are starting to swarm in to get you guys now, and one of them is leading the pack, and he's striding on in right towards you. You are the players. You get to go first. Then that one vampire will get to go. And the battle group always goes last.
Okay.
That's just the rule for battle groups. So, decide who will go before the blood drunk hunter gets his first turn.
You know what I'll do if I go first, so...
I mean, it might be
fire
good
to the fire.
Is it okay if I go first?
Go for it.
Okay. Anima is still up. Going to activate Iron Skin Concentration and Iron Kettle Body. Iron Skin Concentration raises my soak by 2 for the rest of the scene. And Iron Kettle Body increases my threshold by 2 for the rest of the scene. I'm going to activate another charm called Instalable Guardian Posture, which protects an ally as a swift action. So Noah's going to be protected.
Thank God.
That's probably for the best.
So everyone should have a defense of 9 at this point, except for the Abyssal, who is in the crow's nest.
Fudge muffins, that's a lot of defense.
And then, with that prepared, I am going to take the mallet and just try to smash one of the locks open.
Yeah, that makes sense. I will give that to you as your action. You will automatically do it. You do not need to roll. Look at you. Look at how you're made.
Cool.
So, bam, cage goes open. The people inside are slowly like taking your lead on what to do here as doomsday is coming for them.
All right. So,
All right.
now it's the bad guy.
Oh,
Blood drunk hunter.
I thought it was the rest of our turns.
No, it goes 1 player, 1 enemy, then 1 player, but I only have 1 enemy, and the battle group goes last. So he gets to go right now, and then you all get to go, and then the
Unless someone
gang
cuts.
gets to go. Yeah, unless someone spends a willpower to cut ahead of him. Also, Noah earned a willpower back for following their nature. We wanted to point that out on recording. What was your
Yes.
nature, Noah?
My nature is explorer, so I gain willpower for the significant discovery of the horrible vamp feeding den.
Yes, this is a significant discovery. This is presumably in every city in your world. So that's upsetting. Okay, Blood Drunk Hunter's Nightmare goes. He has spent a momentum to Blood Buff to add his essence rating to all his physical actions until the end of the scene are staggered. And he will then spend 3 momentum, all of the momentum I have stockpiled, on Celerity to gain 3 full additional turns at the end of this round.
Oh boy.
Because, like Kevin Crawford in Godbound says, you have to have as many attacks as you have players, or they will just cheese grate you. I can only do this once, though. I'm out of momentum after this. So, yeah, Sea Captain, he's going to come right up to you with his big, jagged hacking weapon that he's holding and looking like an absolute feral monster with red, bloody eyes, he's going to take a swing.
I better use my iron skin concentration just in case.
Right? So what is the difficulty to strike you down?
Still a 9, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, he gets 14 dice.
Oh boy.
Fuck you.
Another botch.
I'm going to show you so you know that I'm not fucking with you. You have to see it. I had 14 dice.
Oh my god.
I was worried about killing you. I'm a fucking fool.
More dice, more ones.
At least I don't think that counts as a botch.
I'm counting just to be sure. So 10, 1, 2, 3. No, it's even. It's just a fail. Just a failure. All right. The blood-drunk hunter is a fool to strike down with the chosen of the sun and absolutely can't get past your defensive posture or however the hell you want to tell me you defended against the doom of his weapon coming down on you with all his hatred. How did you stop this? What happened? Tell me.
Combination of Soul's Shield and the fact that I'm pretty darn good with my cutlass.
Pirate's cutlass and a riot shield.
I foresee that he was seeing the captain, swung down, the captain goes to parry, and the shield somehow intervenes.
Well, at the end of this round, I'll get 3 more chances to murder you all. So, you guys all get to go. Tell me when you're done.
All right. I guess I will go. Let's see. Spending a mote for excellency and using elegant executioner stance. So, let's see. Roll to hit, difficulty 8.
The difficulty to hit the blood-drunk hunter's nightmare is 8. Yes. I'm going to say its full name every time.
Okay.
So Steph is using Elegant Executioner stance, which is always on for her. The first time she hits this thing, nothing happens. But every time afterwards, she gets to do +2 more damage to her total. And on the third hit, it starts doing aggravated damage.
Okay, I got
Abyssals are a nightmare.
14 successes. Oh shit, I had it on difficulty 6. My bad.
That's okay. Just give her another try. Man, I should have really saved a willpower.
10 successes. And
On the hit?
Yes.
Fuck. Well, he has soak 9.
Right. So add that to my damage +2. 12 successes. Oh.
Damage?
Yep.
He dies. Right? I don't have any willpower. I can't stop this. I spent all my willpower like an asshole.
Yeah, I had 14 dice to roll, and I just rolled really well.
8 health levels. I could have used Resolve to cut that in half, but I don't have any.
No,
He's dead.
I had 17 damage dice to roll.
Okay, listeners, in any other scenario, I would have the battle group route, but I need to see how a battle group works for this stress test. So just assume the vampires are stupid and not fleeing for their lives.
Okay.
Who's next? Steph, how did you kill this guy? What happened? Did you just shoot him right in the heart? No fanfare?
I sure did. He looked like the most dangerous person that might do damage to my friends or the people that we're trying to save. So I took a step in the crow's nest. I took a step back, stepping on the guy that's I injured and was still unconscious while he lets out a groan of pain.
Yeah.
Sight down my arrow, closed one eye, and let her fly straight through his heart.
I cannot overemphasize that this bow is a bow she bought from a Cabela's hunting sports and hunting store. It isn't magic or anything. So, yeah, a wooden arrow shaft goes into his heart, dropping him to 0 and putting him into torpor, and Probably a pretty long torpor considering the damage he just took. I'm not missing anything, right? It's not like, oh, hey, you can only go over your stagger threshold like once, but you don't drop to 0 and get knocked out. He is gone, right?
Technically, I think he's lacerated.
Sure, but like he's at 0.
He's wounded,
He has
but he
no
is
more
down.
health levels.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yep. He drops instantly in front of you. He's done. Everyone
Yay!
else, you have a battle group of shovelhead vampires. They're Sabbat aligned because it's a Sabbat town. That like you
Excellencies are
care.
great.
And if any of our characters hear that this is a Sabbat town, we'll go, we're not Catholic.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm Catholic and I don't know what he's talking about.
What? Vampire the Masquerade? It doesn't matter. So,
No. Sabbat? Catholic?
I know. They keep the Sabbat holy, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Ah.
I think Black Sabbath joke, but I can't think of a good one right now.
Now
So,
you can use your soundboard for that one.
I know, right? I'm gonna restrain myself. I can't let that precedent be set. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Well,
That group of vampires.
that guy's just been obliterated. I'll yell to the people we're freeing, "Follow me!" and carve my way through a bunch of the vampires between us and the exit.
All right, yeah, they'll start to follow you, and that guy, he's obliterated, but like I cannot overestimate just how weakly he went down. It was big raging monster 1 second, and then whoop sound immediately crumpled onto the ground like Family Guy.
I figure what happened is his heart is now stuck on the end of the arrow somehow.
I just assumed there's a wooden shaft through his heart in his chest, and he just fell over like this was not a big deal or big threat. Like somehow less impressive and still hilarious.
I think the system may be great for producing slapstick, but I'm not sure it's the best interest.
That's what I said. Just, arrow in chest. He is now in torpor as a vampire. He's out lacerated.
Well, vampires have really been face planting this fight. Anyway, strength plus melee, right?
Yep.
How exactly do battle groups work? I don't really get it.
Okay, so a battle group is just a character sheet with a few extra rules on top of them. So you just roll to hit, and that's it. You don't actually worry about the battle group stuff on your end. On my end, I get to attack all of you in a zone.
Okay, what's their defense? Sorry.
The Shovelhead party's defense is 5.
Okay, they're even easier to hit than regular ones.
They're the bandit stat block, because that's what you do when you want like just crazed vampires that were just turned yesterday.
3 successes on the 2-hit roll.
Uh-oh. Their soak is 7.
All right. So, just damage too. Two measly successes. Oh, well.
Okay, that puts them down to 6 out of 8. Yeah, you just carve through a bunch of these crazed vampires that are like half cogent as you move your way, like you're moving through them, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what happens. You're moving your way through. You're just breaking the siege.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
I think I'm the only one left, right? For our side? Or,
That's correct.
Well, I don't think these guys are worth the lighting our mortals on fire. So, Noah is going to attempt to do the hand-to-hand thing. So, let's see. You said their defense is 7? Or, no, their defense is 5 according to the sheet, right?
Yeah, their defense is low.
Okay, cool.
They're just bandits. They're just a battle group of bandits with a little bit of a buff.
I'm not going to burn 2 motes for a out of affinity excellency, but I still rolled 2 successes to attack.
I also think I'll bring it up later. Continue.
And soak is 7.
Yep.
All right, so unarmed is 3, so that's 5. Dice, difficulty 7. For 1 whole damage.
Down to 5. Good enough.
Yeah, so he kind of trips one over and stomps on its head. You know, nothing particularly elegant. This is just like, you know, kick him in the shin and like, Gah.
Oh no, absolutely. Hey, Steph, you posted the roll from your roll. You have the 10 again and the double 10 checked. Those don't exist in this system. They have to be the left guys have to be clicked.
Oh.
I think that might be why the number was so insane. But let's just count what that roll was anyway. It was diff 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait,
8, 9.
I mean, you still got him.
Minus the 2 1s, that would be, I guess that would be 7 or 8.
Yeah. Like he had 8 health levels. You basically got him. We don't have to retcon that. It wasn't a huge difference. It's just keep that in mind. I will have Peter make a new dice roller that does not have these options.
Okay. I thought the X again just meant that X equals 10.
Nah, it's the old storyteller system kind of thing.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You still did fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else can go. The battle group goes dead last.
I think
Has
that's
everyone gone?
Yeah.
Really? Everyone? That's everyone?
I mean, I didn't attack or anything, but
your simple action was smashing the cage open to free the portals, right?
Exactly.
Fair enough. The battle group will go. They will attack all of you, except the mortals, because you are clearly interposing yourselves, and I don't want to make this a game of you just shredding people off like you're going to get a low score in an escort mission.
Right.
That doesn't seem fair or in the spirit of what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Damn it, we have to reload and get the achievement.
Right? No, we're not doing that. Okay, so from my end, the Shovelhead Party gets to attack all of you with 5 dice.
Difficulty 9.
Yeah. Universally, it's difficulty 9, isn't it?
Yep.
That's where we ended up, yeah.
1 success. I rolled a 10 on 5 dice. I didn't roll a 1, thankfully. Okay, their damage is 9 lacerated, so 10. Holy shit. All right. What are people soaked? Is there
I'm going
for that?
to dodge.
It's good to get that in mind. I'm going to double check battle groups real quick when they attack everyone to make sure I'm not fudging anything up, because they might actually be a threat. You might actually be challenged by this. Where are you, battle groups? Damage, route, when they get hurt. That happens all the time. Oh, it's just resolving the attack happens kind of just against everyone, it looks like. All right. Let's go from the top then. Gerald, what is your soak?
9.
Fudge. All right. Well, 10 dice against 9. I got 2 successes.
I will block that.
That is within your right.
Yes.
Steph, you're nowhere near this, right?
Nope.
As is your right as a stealth archer. Yep.
I didn't want anything to do with melee.
Noah, what is your soak?
My soak is I'm dodging.
Is just
willpower, normal dodge.
Right, dodge. You're just stopping this from happening entirely because they had terrible rolls.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Perfectly good. Look at that, the sorcerer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the sorcerer just doesn't even engage with this because combat's viable for sorcerers. Captain Craig, your soak is...
Well, he activated
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I'm muted.
Is your current soak 8 or 9?
I'm going to dodge. I can do it once per fight without spending willpower.
Yep. Didn't even cost you anything. So, okay, that's it. Those are the rolls.
To be fair, the Chuckleheads are doing better than any of their supposed elders did.
Right? I landed a hit. It is all of your turns again.
I will start the attack if that's okay.
You go for it. Lead the charge.
All right, leading the charge. I am going to spend, since my anima is flaring, I get to spend 2. So first one is going to go to the Excellency. Second one is going to go to Hungry Tiger Tech,
Oh no.
which allows me to reflexively spend a mote whenever an attack the solar makes. During the rest of the round succeeds, with successes count twice
Oh no.
for damage.
That's better than 10 again.
Yeah.
All right. Show me what you got.
We start off with 14 successes to hit.
No. Defense
And
5.
So that is 28 successes since it's doubled. So 33
Soak
dice.
7.
And then 33 dice to hit, or for damage, does at least 11 successes.
And boom goes the dynamite. That is the end of the Shovelhead party.
Yeah.
You somehow cleared this up faster than the individual vampires.
Basically, Thor from whatever hammer goes down, boom, bam.
Having handedly dispatched all of the undead that could ever hope to challenge you, you can now break open the rest of the cages, and I'm assuming lead some sort of charge of the Light Brigade out of this place to your boat.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yes. I will leap down from the crow's nest into the middle of where you guys are and help you free the captives.
Nice shooting.
Thank you. I'm glad you made it through safe and sound.
As you guys exit this part of the Castle Ravenloft, the entrance where the partygoers are being evacuated due to a fire and are making their way in the opposite direction for you're all going as a fire boat arrives on scene to start firefighters coming on in to deal with the problem. I'm just going to ask, just because I know sometimes people hate the MacGyver villain thing, does anyone make sure that the blood-drunk hunter's nightmare is dead forever, cut his head off, he's dead? Or do you want him to come back and maybe he'll roll better next time as a recurring threat?
I'm going to kick him into a fire on the way out.
That is your prerogative. That is your right. I'm not going to take that away from you. Okay, perfect. Blood-drunk hunter's nightmare is dead forever.
Plenty more where he came from, unfortunately.
I mean, I hope he was Essence 4. I hope I have more of those somewhere in my spot castles. You all, what was it? The Crimean River?
Yep.
Perfect. You all board the boat, which can hold the people on it. Don't worry about it. It's a tight squeeze. You go back to shore. What do you do with these people? They were just like human traffic kidnapped by monsters. What do you got for me?
I didn't think that far ahead in character.
I didn't either, to be honest.
Actually, I work with my character works with a lot of advocacy groups. So.
Oh, well.
So he might actually know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, let me set the scene then. The boat pulls up at the dock in Helios's beach area. The beach is made out of that laminated like glass material, even down into the water. So the water has that purple burning neon color about it. So does the whole city. You dock, you let people off. They're all kind of standing on the pier around y'all. I'm assuming your animas have burned down as scenes have passed.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of look to you, holding their clothes and blankets. Like, now what? None of them vocalize.
Probably on the boat, a character just makes a phone call. It's like, hey, I got people that needs help. And maybe a bunch of other protesters or activists type people
Your compatriots.
Will be meeting us on the beach, dock, something.
Yeah, the pier.
Yeah.
Your compatriots meet in numbers to kind of help disperse the group and get people kind of oriented. Many of them have already overblotted the whole vampire thing in their mind, as people are wont to do. All of them are pretty grateful that you saved them from Castle Ravenloft. Pretty grateful that turned out the way it did. You definitely saved all their lives.
Oh.
Great.
I need to thank our contact. That was a little close.
Yeah, let's bring your contact in then. You're going to have to meet up with them eventually. Why not now? We have time. The time that would have been spent killing
In a
them.
fight.
Don't feel bad, Devin. It is
Don't.
without a doubt. Whenever a GM says, "Oh, I'm worried that this enemy might kill the party," without a doubt, they will always get one shot.
Right?
Every
I don't
time.
think I've done it. I think I've done it once, maybe ever, and I was like in Fellowship to Peter. When it was Transformers, oddly enough. All right. Your contact is a vampire woman. Long black hair, looks like a vampire, dresses like a normal human being, but clearly pale, and you can pick up on it because you're starting to get a feel for this when they're not hiding it. Yeah, she walks up to meet you at a bar near the pier? A bar near the pier.
Time to celebrate.
Sure, she'll buy you all rounds of whatever you want. It's on her. She doesn't care. That was excellent work. I didn't expect you to do it tonight, or so quickly, or with 100% saving rate, or with 100% casualty rate on their side. That was excellent work. You destroyed that entire stronghold. That's impressive. Who the fuck are you?
Oh, we're figuring that part out.
That's an upsetting response to that question, but all right, I'll go with it. What do you want from me? I didn't really expect it to go this well, so I don't really have an appropriate form of compensation here.
Noah kind of goes wide-eyed a moment, like, oh, like, we're actually getting a reward for this. That wasn't even expected going in.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either. I just thought your lives would have been your own reward and the saving people, but no, you should be kept happy. I should keep you happy. I want to keep you happy. What can I do for you?
I'm gonna ask the nearest gremlin what would make me happy, because obviously one's in here.
The gremlin, yeah, it crawls up from the table.
Hidden under the table or something.
Oh, makes a shudder sound. It looks up at you when you ask it, what would make you happy? You yourself?
Yes.
It thinks. Oil.
I want oil. Because I'm assuming this one's also speaking in the weird backwards. Yeah.
You want oil?
I smile and nod and kind of clap my hands together. Like,
sure.
That's that.
Done. Okay, fine. I'll get you oil. Done. I can do that. I know a guy. Sure. Sure.
I would like a favor for the future. Do you have a
sure?
business card?
Perfect. Yeah, add my contact on. Here's my real contacts to a not burner phone. Put it in your phone. Please call me.
Thank you.
Just call me when you need to call me. Don't call anyone else. Call me.
I can do that.
Great. Excellent.
Would this phone number work as a get out of jail free card?
Sure. You know what? If you can't get out of jail, I will find a way to get you out of jail free. Fine. Easy peasy. Whatever you want.
I just have a question for you. It's not that I'm not grateful, but what was in it for you this time?
A bunch of people related to people I know were going to be enslaved by a bunch of people who you shouldn't be enslaved by, even by the standards of being enslaved. So it's all roses for me at this point. You didn't even lose anyone.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. I'm taking it back. Look, it's been a really rough year for me and my people, okay? I haven't had a win in a long time. I mean, the economy and COVID, it's just in shambles. This is a really nice thing that's happened to me today. I don't believe this happened. Huh.
I'm surprised at how well it went, too, to be honest. Nice work, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, wonderful.
I pour myself another drink.
Yeah, for the next 17 hours, night's going to last, because it does that in this town. The nights last longer than they do in the rest of the world, if you've forgotten that part.
Nope.
She'll just entertain you at this bar and pay your tabs, and if you want to go and do stuff, she'll go do stuff. If you want to go on a run to get fast food from 3 different types of places, sure, she has a vehicle. Why not? Whatever you want. You want to go to a store or something, she has credit cards. They're not hers, but she has them.
Yeah, I don't foresee anything major changing or doing anything major beyond wind down.
Just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's open. Her name is Muna, by the way.
Muna?
Muna, Muna. So if you want to talk to her or roleplay with each other, this is the forum for that, to get hooks and details for other things.
Noah will kind of remembering this is a thing 3/4 of the way through the night will ask oh, I could use a permanent place to live.
Does it, are you picky? As long as it's nice, like dishwasher, laundry machines?
Well, Noah will pull up a map app on his phone, one of the ones that goes off of Google Map, but you get to make all the you get to make add-on notes yourself.
Yeah, your own map. Yeah.
And he'll point out the different cult matrices that weren't or that don't seem like they're immediately going to cause anyone to try and kill me, and say well, if there's any places near here or here.
I have a place, washer, dryer, dishwasher. You won't even have to pay rent. I'll pay the first. Do you live here? Do you live here? Are you homeless? Are you transient? Do you live here?
Technically transient. Yeah, I mean, I've been living at the.
I will pay a year of your rent ahead of time to live here in this city in the apartment I find for you. Okay, how about that? Is that good?
Perfect. It's probably a lot better than the Enigmarium.
Oh my Christ! You're living there? No, don't do that. No, I have a place. I'll pay your rent. It's fine. Just live here, away from that place.
Well, that sounds
Sure.
wonderful.
Sure. She set you up with the Bedrock apartments.
Cool.
The ones that are Flintstones themed.
Oh, right.
So, Muna.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the vampires that were in Castle Ravenloft are not associated with your kind.
No, I'm kind of an outsider here. Those are the home team.
Okay. Is your team better than them?
We all drink people's blood to exist, so I'm afraid your morals are going to have to make that call for you. I don't hurt people maliciously. I do my best, I'm just living my life.
Well, you don't hunt people through mazes, right? That would be a point in your favor.
Wow! Do they have a maze down there? That's dark.
Yeah.
Wait, were they doing the Minotaur in the labyrinth? Oh my God! Ugh.
Yeah, it was.
You're not supposed to do that to people.
It was kind of a butcher shop.
Well, no, killing people and stuff, you expect that from these kinds of vampires, but the labyrinth thing is beyond the pale. It has some very bad connotations in vampire culture. Very dark connotations.
If your group manages to take over the city, are we going to have to deal with stuff like that?
I don't think the people I represent are going to be able to take or hold this city, considering who I know lives here. But I could point you in the direction of some of these elements that need to be removed to make things a little bit easier to live in.
Well, anything along those lines is probably best to get rid of. But I'm, again, not big on maze there.
Yeah, don't ever go into a labyrinth, people. I know you're new to this, but don't do it. Stay away from mazes. They're unclean.
It's easy to go through a maze when you go through the walls.
No, just don't set foot inside their walls at all, if you can help it. It's unholy. Don't do it.
Noah kind of does the look to the side like I totally haven't already done this kind of thing.
Like, I'm sure you've heard, don't step under a ladder or don't cross a black cat's path. I don't know. I don't remember what people are afraid of anymore. It's hard to keep track of the Cold War, but it's like that for supernaturals. Don't go into a maze.
If we were to take care of more of these individuals that you point out, and your group goes and takes over, can we ensure that we don't have to deal with this again.
I don't think anyone I know would ever put another sentient being into a labyrinth and hunt them like a minotaur. And my people aren't really the conquering type. We're not Carthage or Rome here. I represent an association of families that are a little bit off the beaten trail from what I think you might be expecting. So I can't make that promise because we don't do that. We're just going to kind of set up shop here in small little ways and try to find equilibrium.
I am just talking about minimizing suffering.
Yeah, no, we're not about this at all. We're really, we have other ways of doing this. I can drink animal blood. I do that all the time. It's not a big deal.
Good.
There are blood banks, and we pay money for them because it's crazy. In America, you can just buy blood for money here. Peter Thiel does it all the time. He's not even a vampire.
That is a crazy motherfucker.
Your economy's in shambles. But yeah, we have ways of getting around this. Don't worry. The suffering level is much lower when you get rid of these people because they are rooted in real bad, and they've been here for a while, and they are getting even more erratic ever since last year.
And I'm sure that they are also the people who are in charge of the corporations and the governments are in this area.
Okay, we gotta talk about that then. All right, you guys don't really know. Do you guys not know anything? How are you really fresh new to this?
I know some things that are very difficult for me to put into words.
Okay, so downtown, you're going to see men in suits wearing glasses that look a little corpsey. They're not vampires. They're not undead. Stay away from them. There's something else. You don't want to be involved with them.
Noah literally has a note-taking app out at this point.
They're City Hall, the government here, the people that run this city, different thing too. Stay away from them if you can, unless you're really to bring the hammer down like you did on Castle Ravenloft today. They get testy when people come onto their territory. They built this town. They consider everything in it their property. And stay clear of the suburbs. I've been hearing some unwholesome things about the children out there.
I'm a dark-skinned man. I tend to stay away from the suburbs.
Good. Double down on that. For sure. In this city. Someone said something while that was going on. What was that? Someone said something about the children. Someone's like, what? The children? Wanting clarification? Was that?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
I haven't encountered it myself, and when people I know tell me to steer clear of something, I just do it. I literally don't investigate more or try to learn more about it. I just take them at face value. It's a great way to live. Very comforting and safe way to live, by the way. But yeah, there's something unwholesome about the children out in the suburbs. The one with that big brass clockwork tower in the middle.
Yeah. If anyone's actually looking at Noah's phone, it's a to-do list, not a stay-away list.
Of course.
Oh, I figure as much.
Don't eat any rotten oranges.
That doesn't go on the to-do list.
Only
he already was not planning on doing that.
Only eat oranges off a tree. Don't eat them if they're fermented at all. It causes moon madness or something. It makes you crazy.
Okay.
That's really the gist of what I got. Vampires are everywhere, everywhere. You'll run into them inevitably, but those are the major things I kind of keep an eye out for. There are little societies here and there that we can connect with that have things they're having issues with that I could point you towards, but it really depends on what's going on. I don't know what you people want.
Working on that too.
Okay.
I'm mostly trying to figure out. Then he just kind of motions to everything.
Okay.
Well, what I want is a better society.
That's good too.
Yeah, all right. That's awfully open-ended. I feel like I can work with that in a way that would be mutually beneficial.
Yeah. And he just kind of points at patches on his coat where it's Black Lives Matter, the socialist flag, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we had people like you back in the day. I remember that whole movement. Yeah. Flowers in the gun, right? Whatever
More
happened to you guys?
more hammer to the gun at this point.
Yeah, whatever happened to you guys? I feel like I never see you anymore.
We died.
Really?
Well, some of them did. Some of them decided to make money.
Yeah, no, I was busy during that time. I kind of lost track of all of that. So much to do. Okay, yeah, I can help with that. I have some people that might want to talk to you. I know people that are your kind of people, that want to be your kind of people, that'll help you with the kind of people you don't want around.
Okay. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting people to talk to, apparently.
Yeah. Fine, sure, perfect. Anything else, gang? Anything else I can help you all with? Clarify?
If we think of anything, I'm sure we'll let you know.
You got my number. That's a real number, not a burner.
Good.
Okay. Well, it was extremely unexpectedly, surprisingly pleasant to meet you all. I have to go before the sun comes up, so I'm going to go do that and leave this social engagement. Have a nice whatever it is you do. And she gets up to leave. She looks a little staggered. It looks like you staggered her socially with just how well you did. Like she looks like she just doesn't know what to do with herself. It's like, how did that happen? What happened? And Muna leaves.
Tried to throw some strangers into the grinder, and the grinder broke.
Yeah, she's like, okay, these guys are really, really up on doing stuff. Like she heard about you through the grapevine that you're like, she kind of just expected you to be like sorcerers or something, or like mages or martial artists or something.
Or just some vampire hunters or whatever.
She knew you had a bit of magic to you. She didn't expect this. Nobody could have.
She looks at us through Auspex. It's like, okay, we have 3 suns and a black hole. What the fuck?
She can't get any coherent readings off of y'all. She just does not know what to do about that. She just thought you were just weird. Or had been somewhere weird and it just rubbed off on you.
Yeah. So, yeah, to the rest of the group, yeah, this is what I think we should do with it. I mean, we have the power. We need to change things.
Definitely.
It's an ugly city. I wouldn't mind cleaning it up.
Time to put humanity back at the top of the food chain.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I really don't have much else to say.
Fair enough. Well, if you're all satisfied with what's been going on, you have everything kind of connected out, role played out, we can end it there if you're good with that.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I'm going to award you an amount of XP that is going to be not the normal amount of XP because of the nature of this game, but we'll cover that off the recording. Here's how we end a recording. So I'm going to say I was Devin, and then each one you're going to go, and I was your name, so people can get the name voice association, and then I wrap up with the ending tagline. So I was Devin.
I'm Gerald.
I'm Arben.
I was Stephanie.
Falco.
And this is sponsored by Nobody, signing off.